Hey, everyone. This is Jane from the Let's Get Loud podcast. Hello, Alicia.
Hello, hello, hello.
Woo! All right. Next podcast, you guys, we're going to be more, in real time after all of that, vacationing or all of that time with our families. We'll be able to get you guys caught up on how everything went. So that's
That will be
exciting.
so fun. We'll have to,
Yeah, it'll
that
be a
will
good
need
one.
several episodes.
Episode one. Sure. Shows is I'm trying to get onto, I forgot, I need to put this on my list today. I want to be on the DCL podcast. So they basically interview people that go on DC, like Disney Cruise Lines, and just like how it went, what they did, whatever. And that's like their podcast model template. I had reached out in 2020 saying that I was going because I was supposed to go. Then obviously that got canceled. But now I'm going to reach out again and be like, I can podcast. I have a podcast. I want to be on your podcast.
You haven't done a cruise since, like, there hasn't been a cruise, right?
No. I haven't done a cruise in 10 years.
Okay.
13 years. I haven't gone on a cruise in 13 years. And the kids, I've never done a Disney cruise.
Okay.
And the kids have never cruised.
Okay.
So it's like big. It's like a big deal.
Yes. I must say, cruising never like super appealed to me, but seeing people on a cruise, I'm like,
I know. I think we're going to get so I was listening to the DCL podcast yesterday with Alicia. Not Alicia. I always call Dia Alicia and you Dia, and it's weird. But I was listening to a DCL podcast with Dia, and the guest was like, we were like, so the guest went on a Disney cruise for their honeymoon, and they're like, one and done. It's so expensive. Like, we're just doing it. But then he's like, we got the cruising bug. He's like, what's the cruising bug? Dia. Oh, I'm like, she like pauses the phone because it was on my phone. She's like, what is a cruise bug? And I'm like, it means they got the bug. Like, it's like an expression to say you got really excited. Like you want to go again. She's like, oh my God. I thought that there was like a cruise bug. It was so cute. Anyways, and then they did 17 cruises since 2016. I was like, oh, wow. The first cruise was too expensive, but you did 17 since 2016. That doesn't match the, I don't know, maybe career change. Who knows? But anyways, we absolutely love cruising. I've done 5 to 6 cruises before. And then looking at like Nadia's pictures, like that's the Royal Caribbean one. And like, we've only done Royal Caribbean before.
okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's the bigger one. We've always done the biggest ship of Royal Caribbean as they got bigger, but we'd never done the newest, biggest one, the one that she's on with the slides. So I showed Dia and I was like, ooh. And then I was like, we'll see how they do. But if they do good, like that could be our way to travel in the next few years. Just because like we've done Florida a lot. Like we've done Orlando, and like we could do still like 2-3 days before and get on a cruise. It just like makes it fun. We'll see how the kids like it.
I feel like cruising is out for me based on the fact that I have 3 children.
Yeah, it's definitely not friendly for one stateroom. You'll need 2 staterooms.
I'm out.
We actually got 2 staterooms for the Disney cruise. The kids had their own stateroom. We're just like, my brother was doing it and I made fun of him. And I'm like, of course you are. Of course. Everyone's having their own space. And then Jeff was like, we should do that too. And I was like, if Jeff's the boss when it comes to these decisions. So anyways, and Jeff's like, I don't want to be woken up by Noah at 5 a.m. And I was like, I agree.
I can't wait to watch you guys. It's so exciting.
I know it is quite exciting, actually.
Hey, and do you know what I feel like cruise? Okay, I also we're going to come back to this conversation after because I haven't experienced this yet. So then I can actually speak, but I feel like pieces of Orlando will not be vacation-y. Like, so I'm sorry, but like Disney is like, I'm present. I'm like thinking, there's thoughts. Whereas like the cruise is, I feel like you're on vacation.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I absolutely. I think that because it's your first time at Disney, like for me, I'm like obviously really excited to hit Animal Kingdom, and I am not stressed about it. And I know that it's like one thing at a time, whatever. But when it's your first time, you're like, what does that even look like? It's like if I had never been on a cruise before, I'd be really nervous about being on a cruise. What does that look like? What's gonna happen? I mean, there's always that part of like that anxiety of like people being sick, or like, you know what I mean? Like the kids not feeling good on the boat, because that can be a thing.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So Jeff is like getting ready. He's bringing like his like thing, his bracelet, and we bought some strips to put behind the ears for the kids.
Oh, because Jeff gets sick.
Yes, Jeff. Well, he's done cruises with me before. There was one time where it was like really bad. And so he was sick that time, and I was feeling sick. I didn't get sick, but I was like, I am definitely seasick right now. Like I'm definitely feeling like when it like goes like this and like everything moves.
Ooh.
It's like, it's next level. But that's like quite rare anyways. And you're like at an island almost every single day. So like, you're not like, but it can happen. Yes. So like just all of that. And there's like, obviously weather, like when you're on the boat, but the boats are so big and they have so much to do. So like, you should be fine. But I see what you're saying. Also, no cooking, no cleaning, no whatever. So it's a different experience. So that's why I'm like, I wonder if we're gonna enjoy that, if you know what I mean, or if I like the other side, because we're all in one stateroom, which is, well, we're not, but you would be. Most people would be all in one stateroom, which is like a hotel room, which is my nightmare. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. And is the food all included?
Yes. Yeah. And it's all you can eat every meal all day. Yeah. So it's like next level. Like, I don't know if you're watching Nadia's food is like really important. Like as in like they take pride in like, they serve good food.
The food I feel like has looked very good.
Very, very delicious. Yeah, no, they take pride in their like, especially, so every night you go to a dining and you have a server and you have a menu and you can say, I want everything off the menu. If you want to be a dick about it, go for it. I mean, obviously my dad would do that every time we go on a cruise. He'd be like, I just want one of each. And I'm like, oh, you're like, qu'est-ce que t'appelles ça, là, quand il y a du stuff de reste, là? You're not eating all, like obviously my want to eat to have leftovers or whatever. Like you're, what's the word when you're throwing out food? Waste. Yeah, you're wasting food, which made me sad.
But he ordered that just for himself or the whole table?
Pretty much. Yeah. He just like wanted to try it all. And then abundance mindset, because by day 3, it's not as exciting anymore. And then you just order what you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Like literally by day 3, I remember him being like, okay, well, I can't eat all of this. So it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But no, it's like so fun. Like, you feel very bougie on a cruise. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh yes, I can. And then you can be bougier and actually go to restaurants where you have to pay. And those are very fancy. Those are very fancy. I don't know why people do that, but they do that. My brother would do that for sure.
Alcohol, I think you have to pay for it, or you can get like a package.
You can get a package that does include alcohol. Yep. I think Jeff probably will get it. You know what I mean? Maybe my mom, but you can bring alcohol on the boat, and you all have like a quote, like a quota or whatever you would call that. Yeah. Each. So
even
clearly,
the kids?
I don't know, maybe, probably not. So, but they're definitely going to use me as like, okay, whatever. So they're all going to go buy alcohol before we get on the boat for sure.
Okay.
And you can buy alcohol when you get on the ports.
Right. Yes.
So you can really stock it up if you want.
Okay. One other question here, ma'am.
Okay.
What happens if you miss the boat?
So it's either it's over, or you can try to fly to the next port and get on the boat at the next port.
Whoa.
Yeah,
and like just all your money gone. Like there's no like,
oh no, there must be like, if it's travel related, you would have that insurance. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why like when you're cruising, like even Nadia, like that was wow. You know, that
literally
was
15 minutes, I think.
Yeah. So going the day before is not highly recommended. At least 2 to 3 days before. Yeah. Okay. You just never know, especially living somewhere in Moncton. If you have one flight and you're from Toronto, whatever, you're going to make it. But like, we're like 2 flights low, and we all know that there's not a lot of flights coming out of our airport in Moncton. So it's like, okay, well, before you get a next one, it could be 2 days. So that's why. Yeah.
I have learned so much from my last traveling experience, and I am taking all of this knowledge with me in my life.
I know, friend. But cruising is actually something that, because for us to get on a cruise, it gets to be expensive because of the flight to get there and then the cruise. But let's say you're from Miami or you're from like, imagine like tons of people do that for like March break and they just have to pay the fee of the cruise, which is the cruise itself is not crazy expensive. Like, well, I mean, Carnival and like, it depends the boat, it depends the itinerary, it depends the amount of days. But you have to add on flying there, which because of where we're from can cost a lot of money.
Okay.
It's not a cheap trip, though. It's not a direct flight to Punta Cana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of experience. Oh my God. So this is what I told Jeff and he's like, absolutely not. That's my worst nightmare. I'm like, this is my dream. They just came out with a 3-year cruising experience. That's really my dream. So you're cruising for 3 years. Clearly, first of all, who can afford this, but also who can afford this with time? So like, I'm like, people clearly that don't have kids, but also you have to be retired, basically. I think it's it would be the only way, because even young, it was $100,000 each for 3 years. It was $30,000 a year. It came out to $30,000 a year.
Each person.
Each person, yeah. And then I'm like, so a young person can't afford this right away, you know what I mean? But also can't afford it in time. Like 3 years is a long time. Jeff was like, absolutely not, maximum 21 days. We laughed.
Okay, but then how long are you actually on this boat?
So you're on the boat for 3 years, but you're stopping at 315 different ports and you go around the world. Imagine this experience. Antarctica, Great Wall of China, Caribbeans, like you see it all. Like imagine that experience. Would you do it?
Okay.
It's a lot, but I was a yes right away because of my love for just not being home.
Yeah, I feel like you would miss home.
Yeah, 3 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And you actually like, so it's like planned so that you actually have like some overnight days at a port, not just to visit, so that you can get your land legs, because there's like sea legs and land legs. And like you need to like get, so that you're not, so it's all like planned.
Wow.
You start in Indonesia and then like you go from there.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be crazy? But I'm like, who has that money, but also like no attachment to life for 3 years?
Yeah, like you would literally have to be retired or be able to work, but like I'm assuming you don't always get Wi-Fi in the boat.
Oh, so yeah, so there's like a section for working abroad or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like an office section on it.
Okay, so it's basically just you would need to like literally have no one, like no kids, and even if you're retired, like your kids are older, maybe they're having their own kids, like 3 years.
3 years is a long time. I'm either getting married, like you can't like. Anyways, but I was like, oh man, like that would be if it was just Jeff and I forever and ever. 3 years.
Wow.
Imagine though the experience. So not thinking about missing home or the people that you wouldn't see for 3 years. It's literally like the experience you would get out of that. Like that's a once in a lifetime. Like I know it's 3 years, but it's just 3 years.
Like, I also feel like you could probably do it around the world trip, not on a boat, and not make it 3 years.
Right. But then like, imagine you get buffets every day. You get like that type of service. Imagine though, you have your own room, like good bed, like, and it was like clearly like next level boat. Like it was like the luxury, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, imagine.
Okay.
Just the life experience that you would get out of it.
I was actually thinking the other day that like there used to be, when Neil and I were traveling a lot, there was around the world tickets. It's probably not a thing anymore. And you bought an around the world ticket and it gave there was rules. So like you couldn't go backwards. But you had it had certain levels. So like you would buy like 5 stops or 10 stops. So Neil and I have each had like several around the world tickets, because it was like a cheaper way to fly. It was like $1,000 or something.
Shut up.
Yeah. And you would fly and you would literally go around the world. I mean, you didn't have to always, but like you could go, like, that's how we went to Australia, because we went to like New York and then we went to LA and then we went to Hawaii and then we went to New Zealand. Like, I don't think they probably have it anymore, but that's back when like backpacking, I feel like backpacking isn't as much of a thing anymore.
It's probably so expensive.
So expensive, actually. They do it a lot more in Europe too. Like they're
Yeah.
like, that's just what they do. Like it's called like a gap year and you go travel or whatever. So it's accessible too,
So
right? It's
yeah,
right there.
yeah, exactly. They have access to that type of life. Just like the
Um,
people that live down south, they have access to like where you live really gives you access to a different type of life
I
for
mean,
a different income, like a different,
absolutely.
yeah.
Even like people that just live in the States that I saw them going on that LA trip that I went on, and like they're home with their families, it's 2 p.m. And I'm like at the first leg of my trip. You know,
Yeah.
and I spent quadruple the amount of money you did on my flight. So
Yeah.
even just like that is significant.
Yes. No, absolutely. Like traveling for us because of what we have access to is definitely more expensive
And long.
and longer. Yeah, and just more of a big deal.
Mm.
Okay, everyone. Wow. Okay, well, when we get back, we'll have so much to share.
Cool.
So that would be the next podcast, you guys. Okay, today we want to talk about, Alicia doesn't even know. So I was talking to one of our members, Alicia, someone that like really watches all the videos, and she's new to your weight loss, but I see her really putting in time.
Right.
Honestly, I see her saying like, I'm on the, on the treadmill and I'm listening to Josie's live today. And I just like see her really putting in that time. And I was like, I'm curious. I know you're new to your weight loss. Like, what's your vibe right now? Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think about this content? And she's like, oh my God, I have so much to say, all positive. And it was so sweet. Anyways, but one thing she said that triggered this conversation is she said, I'm choosing your weight loss content over TV right now. And it goes hand in hand with my personal development goals. And then I had that moment of like, it's so true that in order for you to fall in love with your weight loss, to fall in love with our content, to fall in love with this journey that we're trying to embark you on, personal development needs to be a part of it. That it can't be just, I'm joining your weight loss to lose 50 pounds or 20 pounds or even 10 pounds. It has to be a part of the goal before you join, almost like, I'm joining your weight loss. Yes, I'd love to lose weight. It's a part of the byproduct of what I'm trying to do. Yes, it's a part of the conversation. It is a part of the goals, but it's just not a part of the main focus. I'm joining your weight loss because I'm trying to for personal development, right? For self-work. And just having that conversation with our listeners to kind of warn them almost like this is a part of what you're signing up for.
I actually really love this. And I actually think this is something that maybe we can kind of discuss a bit more, because we want the right people to take advantage of our membership at the end of the day. And someone that is going to love our membership and what our service offers is someone that values self-development.
Self-development. So when she said that, I'm like, oh, like she's like, it just goes hand in hand with so in order for you to prioritize the videos, you already need that, like, because for people that are just prioritizing weight loss are like, fuck the videos. Like they don't even like, but they're like, oh, another video. And I'm like, whoa, this should be what you signed up for. Like, because you want personal development, and our content and our service is literally that. Like, and weight loss will be a byproduct of that change in your life. And so when she said that, I'm like, and she's seeing that it's so easy for her to press play. I'm like, why is it so easy for you to press play? Because you joined just like any other person, but I'm seeing more, not more effort, but almost more, you're more connected. Like, why are you, is it because you think we're funny? Is it like, what is it? And she's like, oh, it goes with my personal development goals. And I'm like, geez, okay, you need to have that as a goal, because if you don't, you'll stop pressing play because all you want to see is weight loss.
Oh, that's really good. And you know what? You need to value it. Like as a society, I really believe that we're getting there.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah.
And especially in the weight loss world, it's like that, we value self-development in other areas of it's like business or relationships, but it's still yet maybe not a focus in the weight loss world to value self-development. I think we're getting there. I hope we're getting there, but that's so important that they see value. And the hard part about seeing value in something that's not tangible is you kind of have to do it before, like you have to put the cart before the horse.
Yeah. It's like having an abundance mindset. You want it, you see it, but there's work to be done. And there's like hardships, like it's going to get worse before it gets better type thing. And it's like, oh, like it's like that hard, but you have to get through it. Only the people that got through it get it. And it's the same with losing weight your way and really embracing what we do at Your Way Weight Loss. You need to see value first in personal development. And like, I want weight loss, not because being thinner is better, not because it's going to make me happier. I want weight loss because I don't see myself showing up as who I want to be. And that's personal development, you know, and I see my body stopping me from, you know, the energy and the vibe and who I want to be, like just I just don't feel like it's connecting. And so working on that, it's like recognizing that that has value with your weight loss journey is key for sure to be able to create your way. And then also looking at people like you and I on social media and all of our members that are being successful and be like, shit, this is a thing. Like this happens to people. They find their way, they lose their weight and they seem like they have something different than losing their weight a different way. So you have to be so open to like, I have shit to learn. I have things to learn. There's something out there and not just I have weight to lose. Like not just always about the weight you have to lose. It's the things you have to learn, the things you have to unlearn, the mindset you want to have and who you want to be and how you want to show up.
And it's just so different than the way that we've ever lost weight before. So when you're trying to lose weight, it's like, but is it enough? Like, is it enough? And then you're kind of like doing the mindset work, but then you're like, but what about meal prepping? What about exercising? What about, there's that, and that's diet baggage. That's diet baggage. That's so right. Kind of haunting you a little bit.
Yeah, that's diet. Well, it's the culture. It's the diet culture in our society that is so strong. And so you almost have to see through it. And you have to do something that's not average. Like that decision is like, okay, like I see through the diet culture right now. I see that it is not added value. I see that society is not getting healthier with it. So it's almost seeing through it so that you can finally just marche à travers, just like I don't want that anymore. I don't want that noise of meal plans and meal prepping and whatever. If I choose to do that, it's because it's a part of my way. And I think that a lot of people don't even know what a part of their way is yet. And it will be, there are some things that I do that are a part of diet culture that is to have like I eat egg whites. Oh, yeah, that is a part of diet culture. Yeah. I eat cottage cheese, you know, and it's very interesting. But before it was because they told me to. And it was mixed with other things that did not align with salsa and what? And egg whites, but it was mixed with like at what time I should be eating it and with the scarcity of not eating it. And now it's like a choice. It's like, I do a wrap with it with onions and, you know, guacamole and whatever. Like, it's just like, that's my thing. I like eat that shit up. It's so good. But I had scarcity mindset around egg whites because egg whites is very much part of diet culture. So there are things that you are bringing with you. It's not the egg whites that's the issue. It was the egg whites mixed with the salsa. It needed to be before 7:30 a.m. That was the problem.
Yeah, it's never the action. There's not one action that puts you on or off a diet. It's how you feel and your intentions behind that action.
So it's not a certain food, like it's not a diet food, you know, like how do you feel when you eat that? You know, how does it make you feel that you need to eat that right now and when you're done and like, so all of it. Okay. So I guess listeners, hello. Do you value self-work? Do you feel like you're investing energy, money into personal development? Do you feel like society is doing that? But do you feel like you are doing that? I personally feel like society is, like you said, the trend is more people are going to therapy. More people are saying no to things they want to say no to. More people are starting to prioritize, especially women. We're starting to prioritize a little bit more us, like who we are and what we want to do. But I do feel like we still have a long roads ahead to really prioritizing our beliefs because it's the belief system in our society. C'est ça qui arrive, là. The diet industry really fucked up our belief system around weight loss and how we eat and what we should be eating. And we keep being fed this information through social media. And honestly, last night I was watching my social media, and I was crying, laughing. I'm sure you saw a few of the videos I shared. That's when I'm like on the internet and just things are just funny. And I'm like, look how the internet is adding value to my life. I am crying, laughing, right? And I'm like, I see so much value in scrolling on Instagram, because my Instagram that I choose is funny, and it's like things that make me laugh. And then Jeff sends me a reel, and then we just like, it can create good energy. Honestly, social media can really create good energy, but it can also be bullshit and so damaging. So it's like, that's where you need to kind of look at like, what is my social media adding value to my life,
And you need to keep your own space precious. Like no one is in charge of your own social media but you.
Yes.
So if you need to do some unfollowing, then you do some unfollowing.
Yep. I followed someone that I was like, why am I following this person? Random post about junk food and white bread.
Oh,
It was very random, but it was like, what is this post? And I thought she was kidding, being sarcastic, maybe.
okay, no,
Because she was strongly saying that that was something that we needed to, in order to lose weight, avoid junk food and white bread.
Need to accept responsibility that when they villainize and demonize specific foods like white bread, that is like, you are really creating some trauma for some people. You're really isolating some people.
I know.
Like the woman that like is a single mom who her grocery budget is like $100 a week. Do you know what? Probably she's buying white sliced bread. So like we need to stop doing that. It's so you're coming from a place of privilege when you say like, oh, my whole grain, starter bread.
Definitely not relatable. No. So I was like, oh, unfollow. I don't know why I don't need to see your thing about while I'm eating my toast. And you know what I mean? I actually wanted to do a reel, like just unfollowed someone while I'm eating my toast that told me not to eat white bread. So here's the thing. We did a podcast about this way back, where it's like, you don't have to actually listen to people's advice on the internet. Like, you don't, like, just because someone says something doesn't mean you have to like follow it. Like, you need to go within and say, what are my values? What do I believe in? What does this information add to my life? But yeah, you guys, you know what? We're going to say it out loud and finish with that you need to want to work on self-development, personal development, in order for you to really see value in your weight loss. So if you're like, I like that, just so you know, like some people join just for that piece, not even weight loss. They join for personal development in terms of their relationship with food, with the relationship with their bodies. And I have messages sometimes they're like, I don't really like want to lose weight or have weight to lose, whatever that looks like. But I like am so connected to your message online. And they're like, is that what I'm going to get out of the program? And I'm like, yes. Like, I don't know what I posted, but someone's like, this made me cry. And it was about food and whatever. And she's like, this is the type of content I need, because why did this make me cry? You know what I mean? She's like, and I'm not. And she's like, I'm not an overweight person. I'm not dealing with that like extra drama of needing to want to lose weight. But why is this making me cry? Clearly I have a relationship with food where I don't think I can have an abundance mindset, or I don't think I can have that freedom,
that freedom,
self-work. Personal development is literally freedom.
100%.
And it's actually happiness as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Okay,
you guys. Well, next podcast, you will see Alicia and I maybe looking a little bit different, maybe 10, maybe refreshed, or very stressed. Who knows? It depends how everything went. We love you. We appreciate you as always. And keep listening to us. Keep leaving your reviews. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.